The journey to self-acceptance has one final layer. If you've not passed through this layer, then you haven't fully accepted yourself yet. It's a layer that I've only just begun to comprehend myself and to move through. Literally 1 year ago, I posted a video about my journey to self-acceptance whilst in the Colombian Amazon. I won't go into the full details as you can watch the video yourself, but essentially, I had received a message after microdosing ayahuasca that I didn't need more medicine. All I needed to do was to accept myself, all of my life and every part of my being. Well, that journey continued long after leaving the Amazon, into Ecuador, and eventually back home with me to a quiet, sleepy English village and my family home, where I've been since last December, figuring out the next phase of my life. I've had to sit down to a big bowl of self-acceptance, and it's only been the last couple of weeks that I've finally eaten the last spoonful. It's been quite a journey. I ran out of money and online clients in South America and was forced to call my journey a day and come back home, unfortunately. Firstly, I'm so grateful to still have a family home and a mum and stepfather who happily took me in. I also arrived at the perfect time, as 2 months before my stepfather had had a small heart attack and was recovering slowly, which was putting pressure on my mum, who now also needed 2 cataract eye operations and couldn't drive the car. So it was divine timing that I was sent home to support them as chief dishwasher and chauffeur for the next 6 months until May. It was beautiful that I was able to be there for them and that I was also given a roof over my head, food on the table, but it came with the deepening of the self-acceptance lesson. At 45, with no home or means to get one, finally realising that I had to let go of personal training from my life to step into a new chapter of conscious coaching, there was a lot going on that I was being forced to accept about who I am in my life and where I am. It has not been easy. I also began working in the village cafe as soon as I got home for 1 to 2 days per week, washing dishes, making food, serving customers, and being part of a great little team. This also forced me into a deeper level of self-acceptance. It's been very humbling. None of this was who I wanted to be or where I wanted to be at this point in my life, but I had no choice than to be present and to really accept it with deep gratitude for my home and for that job. I even ended up landing myself a job as a personal trainer at Pure Gym in the local town, but I resigned after 2 shifts, realising that it just wasn't me anymore. I just couldn't do it, and lied to myself. I had to let go of this identity as a personal trainer if I really wanted to move into the next chapter as a conscious coach in my life. I then went through 2 to 3 months of job searching and was turned down for everything that I applied for, but I landed the second interview as a men's relationship coach, finally something that felt perfect for me. And then I had a thanks but no thanks email that came through about that job. This was a deep and challenging time for me. I was feeling pressure from within me and around me. I'm 45 and I shouldn't be here now. I should be moving on. I want to be moving on, but it feels like something is blocking me. I then went through a transformative 2 to 3 weeks of self-reflection. I let go of old habits that I felt were distracting me and taking my energy in essence. I looked at and spoke to my shadow. I integrated my dark side and realised I just had to be fully present with what it is and accept it all in my life. I was going deep within me to fully see and accept my inner worth without the need for anything external from me to validate me. It was during this period where I feel I went through the final layer of self-acceptance, the end of level boss. I was considering those automatic judgment programs that fire off in our subconscious mind when we're around other people or in public places, but no one else hears. And that we don't really know where they come from. They don't feel like they come from us, but they're there. Well, I was catching mine and I spoke to them, realising that all those split-second judgments that I directed externally from me were in fact the same judgments that I was placing on myself. as within, so without. And one day I had an epiphany whilst walking in nature. I had this message that came to me that hit me really hard. This voice in my head said, until you see God in everyone and everything else outside of yourself, you will not accept the God within you. So by not seeing that in everyone and everything else outside of me was in fact a deep reflection of me not accepting myself fully and completely. Boom, mic drop moment. It fascinated me that I could consciously know and feel this when I was on my own, but I'd automatically almost forget this when I was in the presence of others, and I'd be hijacked by my subconscious programming. So it's a work in progress of bringing self-awareness to the present moment and observation of my thoughts, but I'm gradually programming my inner auto-responder when it sees another to say, hey look, there's God, and there's God, and there's another God. It's given me a deep sense of presence, awe and wonder to start seeing God in everyone and everything, fascinating by the shapes and forms that God appears to me every day before my eyes. I'm finally seeing God fully in myself, and in doing so, I am fully accepting who I am and where I am in my life. Seeing God in everyone and everything is paradoxically the final layer to your self-acceptance. In my next video, I'll explain to you where the game of life has taken me next. Thanks for watching. I'm Adam Stansbury, a life journey facilitator. I help men and women to find clarity and direction with their life purpose and to find the value within them. If you're interested in working with me through one of my programs or directly with me through one-to-one coaching, just check out my website at adamstansbury.com.